Hi Beth, how are you? Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. I loved Mermaid, so I'm really excited to ask you a few questions.
Oh, great. Thank you. I'm
Um,
excited too now.
in the beginning, we see that this film is a love letter to Florida. So I was wondering if you can explain that a little bit, and then in terms of how this is a personal story for you and if Florida inspired it.
Yeah, that it's very I mean, that's what the whole movie is to me. I grew up in Florida. I grew up where we shot the movie, and this was very much me just saluting to and being fond of like my childhood and seeing these people on the beach and characters like this. And it was personal on so many different levels with different characters throughout. I mean, I could go through each character and say, "Oh, that guy was a that guy was a guy I used to see at the beach bar as a kid, with the way too much tan, way too tan, and um, just saying ridiculous things and telling crazy stories." And then, this guy over here, a stepdad. The stepdad is the guy who likes to wash his Corvette and wears a certain kind of socks, and the wife who drinks her Arnold Palmer's at 4 p.m. every day. These are all just characters I grew up around, um, and then with the Johnny character too. I think personally, I had some things happen in my life where I lost a couple of friends within the same year to drug addiction that were from Florida, and they were sort of in the rear view mirror for me that I didn't even realize when I was making the film that that stuff was sort of coming through. But I just watched it again recently. I was like, man, this is so tragic and so dark, and that was very, very much a part of it too. So there's a lot of personal stuff, but it's really my childhood combined with this beach environment and all these things where it's like this is a place where anything can happen. Um, and it's sort of this crazy it's a crazy place unlike any other. So that was sort of it behind the love letter.
I'm sorry to hear about your friends.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
But in hearing about that aspect of the film, that kind of helps me conceptualize it a little bit because as I was watching it, I kept getting this very like unsettling, like I've been in Doug's shoes before type of feel.
Right. Yeah.
Um, was that your
Great.
intent with this film? And did you do
Yeah.
anything
I
specific?
think loneliness is a big thing, and anybody feeling like a fish out of water. It's like the idea is to take a guy as a fish out of water and then put him with a literal fish out of water. And hopefully by the end, it feels a little bit like I was feeling the other day. I'm like, man, it's still pretty dark in the end, but there's hope, a little bit of hope in the end of it, where he can go back and sort of maybe face the things he needs to face a little bit better because of this odd experience that he had. So yeah, I think that was my intent. It was definitely my intent to have everyone who watches feel like, oh, if I've been a little bit of an outcast in life, I can sort of relate to it in a weird way. So it's good to hear you say that.
Yeah, it was at times it got a bit overwhelming, but I'm glad that hear that that was your intent. So
Yeah,
kudos to
yeah.
that.
It gets heavy.
Yeah, yeah. And Johnny was incredible as Doug, and I was surprised to hear that this was his first leading role. So
I
what was it
know.
about him that kind of won you over?
Um, we met after I did my first film. He reached out to me and we met, and we got along great. And I just found him very interesting, like his point of view, very interesting. And I thought it would be interesting to have him do something like he's never done before and put him sort of in a darker, more grounded setting. And he understood Florida. He understood what I was trying to do. He went to school at FSU, so he had a good grasp on it. And yeah, he just really got it and we clicked. And I thought it would be interesting to have somebody like him leading a film. It's so unexpected and strange. And I thought that was the perfect underdog for something like this. So that was sort of it. And we became fast friends, and we had a great time making it.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
And I have to ask about Destiny and Destiny's look. Based
Hmm.
on my experience with mermaids, they don't look like how Destiny looks. So, what was your vision for her, and then how did the final look kind of come about?
Well, my vision for her was I wanted it to be realistic and also funny, funny in a dark way. It's not as funny to have Johnny um, talking to an attractive siren. It's funnier if she's an animal that's unapologetically an animal and kind of doesn't waver from that. Maybe a little bit at the end, but and that's way more Florida to me. It's way more a Florida story where it's like it doesn't become this like majestic thing. It stays more human and more real. I just thought that was more interesting and something I've never seen before. But and then as far as like getting the look of it, the finished product was different in a very good way to what I originally thought. I was working with the company for 4 months on the initial look of it, and they ended up falling through last minute, and we had to scramble. So what ended up being 4 months of prep ended up becoming 10 days with this new company, Mark Villalobos, and they were building this mermaid while we started shooting the movie. So I had no idea what the mermaid was going to look like, besides what I told them until the day we started shooting. So that was a very intense thing for a movie called Mermaid. But I'm so happy with how it turned out, and um, they nailed it. They nailed everything. I wanted it to be like this thing's been out in the ocean for years, and it's scuffed up, and it's not pretty at all. It's like it's just a wild feral thing, and they did a great job with it. So
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Um, I like that you wanted her to be unapologetically an animal, because we always have this idea of like, do they understand us? Can they actually communicate with us? And like at the end, kinda. Uh,
yeah, yeah, it's how you feel about animals. Sometimes you have these moments where you're like, did we just have a moment, or I don't know if we did or we didn't, or how much do you understand? But it's definitely less than a dog. You know what I mean? She's very feral, and like there's certain she does where you're like, oh, it's a little bit there, but I wanted it to be an animal throughout. I just thought that was more interesting than like the Shape of Water, where they have this real connection. I don't know. I don't know.
no, I agree, definitely more interesting this way.
Yeah, thank
Um,
you. I'll take it.
and then my final question for you is, what is the one thing that you are just absolutely excited for people to see when they watch this?
Um, I think that I'm excited for them to see Johnny playing a role like this. I hope, like, if you've been to Florida before and you understand it, I hope you can feel things that you felt while being there. I hope you're surprised by like all the performances, but like somebody like Kevin Nealon as well. I think he's
Mm.
really interesting to see him more in a grounded role and being funny in a very different way, and being like sort of some of the heart of it. Um, and just all the characters. And I hope people come in with an open mind and they know we were setting out to make something different than the normal creature feature. It's really about it's not a movie about mermaids. It's really about like a lonely guy, and the mermaid is like the backdrop of it. That was the idea anyway. So yeah.
Awesome. Um, Thank you so much for speaking with me. Again, I absolutely loved it, and I'm very excited to see what you do next.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was great to meet you and talk with you. So thank you, Beth.
It was great meeting you as well. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.